Hi guys, Bobby Thompson here with Crochet Guru, and welcome back to part 2 of the Bonnie Bear Crochet Along. Today you're going to need some buff yarn for the snout, and you're going to need some cafe latte yarn because we're going to also work on the outer ear and the inner ear. So you're going to need buff for the snout, outer ear, inner ear. Okay, and then you're going to need a size 5mm hook or an H8 hook. You're going to need your yarn scissors, a stitch marker, and a yarn needle. Okay. Okay, to get started, we're going to go ahead and make a magic circle. Now, I don't go over how to make the magic circle, so if you don't know how to do this, I will leave a link in the description box so that you can go and check that out. Okay, so after you make the circle, we're going to place 6 single crochets into the circle. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then go ahead and close up the circle. And what we'll do is we will place our stitch marker in that very last stitch to keep track of where we left off. Okay, so for round 2, we're going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So locate that first stitch. We're going to place 2 into the first stitch. 1, 2. Place another 2 single crochets into that second stitch. 1, 2. Do the same thing in the third. 1, 2. Same thing in the fourth. 1, 2. Same in the fifth. 1, 2. And the same in the last 6th stitch. 1, 2. So you'll have a total of 12 single crochet stitches, okay, for round 2. Let's move up our stitch marker. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch. We're going to single crochet into the following stitch. We're going to repeat that 6 times for a total of 18 single crochets, okay? So for the first stitch, we're going to place 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and then only 1 in the next. So there's your 1. 2 into the following. 1 into the following. 2 into the next. So we're just repeating the same pattern around. 1 single crochet. And then 2. 1. And then 2 into the next stitch. 1. And then 2 into the next. And then we're going to end on the very last stitch with just a 1 single crochet. Take that stitch marker out. We'll add 1 more single crochet. You should have a total of 18 single crochets. So if you're unsure about what you have, make sure to go around and count to make sure that everything is on track. Okay, we'll move up the stitch marker. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Repeat 6 times for a total of 24 single crochets. Okay, so in the first stitch, place 2. So one, oh, whoops. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so now in the next 2 stitches, we're only going to place 1 single crochet. So 1, and then 1 into the next. 2 into the following, and we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and then 1 stitch into the next 2. So 1 and 1. Okay, so I'll be quiet now and just continue to crochet. I have a hard time being quiet because I'm too used to giving instructions. So 2 in this one. I have some hair in there. Let's see. Okay. And then remember there's only 1 in the next 2. Okay. 2 into the next. And then there should be 1 into the last 2 stitches. I'm going to take my stitch marker out and go ahead and put it back into the last stitch. Okay, so remember we should have a total of 24 stitches for that round. For the next round, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch, a single crochet into the next 3 stitches, repeat this 6 times for a total of 30 single crochet stitches. Okay, so we're just following the same pattern, but this time we're going to do 2 and then 1 into 3. So the first one is 2. 1, 2, and then 1 into 3. Okay, so I'll count up to 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and remember we're going to follow the same pattern. So 2 into the next, and then 1 into the next 3 stitches. Okay, I don't know what's easier if I just said 1, 1, 1, if that makes more sense. Okay, 2 into the next, 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 3. So 1, 1, and 1. Let me know what you guys prefer, if you like me to count up to 3 or if you like the 1, 1, 1, because sometimes I think the 1, 1, 1 makes a little bit more sense. But okay, so I'll just be quiet and continue on. So I'll just place 2 into here. And again, I have a hard time being quiet because I'm too used to giving instructions. But I'll be quiet for the next part. And if you need to, you can fast forward this part. You could stop this part and just follow along to catch up. For a minute, I thought I got off right there, but I am not. Sometimes that happens. And then 3, okay. Okay, so again, remember to count and make sure you have 30 single crochet stitches for that round. Let's move the stitch marker up. I am going to get some more yarn from my ball so it's easier to crochet. Okay, so for round 6, just trying to make sure where we are, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch, a single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and then repeat that 6 times for a total of 36 stitches. So again, same pattern, but this time we're doing 2 and 4. So into the next stitch, we're placing 2. Into that first stitch, I should probably say the first stitch, place 2. And then in the next 4, we'll just place 1. So again, I'll just say 1, 1, 1, and 1. Okay, in the next stitch, we'll place 2, 1, 2. In the next 4, we will place 1. 1, 1, 1, and 1. It probably sounds funny just to say 1 over again, but that way you kind of get what's going on. And this one, we're going to place 2 into the next stitch. 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 4. And I'll be quiet on this one. 2 into the next. 1 into the next 4. 2 into the next. 1 into the next 4. So I don't go super slow on these because I consider the crochet alongs to just be a little bit quicker. So if you're having a hard time keeping up, go ahead and make sure just to pause the video and catch up at the end of the round. And then 4 into the following, or 1 into the following 4, I should say. Take that last stitch out, add my last stitch. Okay, so for this one, you should have a total of 36 stitches all the way around. Okay, so for round 7, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. Repeat 6 times for a total of 42 single crochets. So again, we're just doing the same thing, but this time we're upping it to 5. Pull out some yarn, just makes it easier for me to crochet. Okay. Well, this is pretty simple. So in the first one, we're going to place 2. So 1, 2, and then in the next 5, we're going to place 1. So 1, 1, 1 again, 1, and 1. The only thing that's hard about saying 1, 1, 1 is you forget kind of where you are. Okay. I have something on my yarn. Okay, so 2 into the next. And then 1 into the next 5. So this time I'll count up to 5. That way it'll make it easier for me to keep track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 into the following. 1, 2, I should say 2 into the same. That might be easier. And then 1 into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I'll be quiet. I will place 2 into the next. Then we'll do our 5. 2 into the next. And then do your 5. Oh, do into the next. And then do your 5. So for the crochet alongs, I'm trying to just do it more real time rather than skipping ahead, shutting off the video and skipping ahead. Let me know what you prefer. If you prefer me to shut off the video and finish my stitches, I can do that next time. I figured for the crochet alongs, I would just keep it going the whole time. Okay, so again, make sure you have 36 single crochets on that round. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, 42. 42, I said that wrong. Okay, so for rounds 8 and 9, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, and so we'll finish up on those next 2 rows by just crocheting in every single stitch around. And this will start to make the work bend in. Okay, so instead of being flat, we'll start to see it bending in. Okay, so I don't think I need to really talk on this part. I'll just quietly work, and maybe what I'll do is fast forward this section. And so go ahead and finish up the next 2 rows, single crochet in each stitch around, and I'll meet you back here for what we do next. Okay, we have made it to the last round, so it should be curving in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place a slip stitch into the next stitch and then fasten off and leave a long tail to sew onto the face. Okay, so what I like to do is I just like to slip stitch into the next stitch because it kind of hides the little the height difference, if that makes sense. Okay, so I slip stitched. Let's go ahead and cut this off, and I like to leave a pretty long tail. Okay, now if you ever run out of the tail end when you are sewing, you can always cut off another strand of yarn, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so go ahead and just pull that through, and we're going to set this aside and start working on the ears. Okay guys, now we're going to work on the outer ear. We're going to use our cafe latte yarn this time. This is going to be really similar to the snout. Okay, so making amigurumi isn't really too terribly hard. That's why it's a good beginner project. Okay, so we're going to create a magic circle. And I create my magic circle a little differently, so you don't have to necessarily do it the same way I do it. And then we're going to place 6 single crochets into the circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then pull the circle closed with the tail end. Okay, and we're going to go ahead, place our stitch marker in to the very last stitch to keep track. Pull some yarn out. Okay, so for round 2, we're going to place 2 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12. So just like we did the snout. So it's basically going to be worked the same way. We're just not going to make as many rounds. Well, actually we are. We're going to go up to 11 this time. I was wrong. Okay, so 2 into that first stitch. So 1, 2, 2 into the next. 1, 2, 2 into the next. 1, 2, 2 into the following. 2, 2 into the next. 1, 2, and then 2 into the very last where the stitch marker is. And this should be a total of 12 single crochets all the way around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker back in. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch. We're going to repeat this 6 times for a total of 18 single crochets. So 2 and then 1. So 2 into the next stitch, or I should say first stitch, 2 into the first, 1 into the next, 2 into the next, 1, 2, 1 into the next, 1, 2 into the next, 1. And I do repeat myself a lot. I apologize for that. I don't know how you guys like, if you like it repeated. Okay, 1 into the next, 2 into the next, 1 into the next, 2, and 1. Let me take that out first. Okay, pull out some more yarn, just makes it easier. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the following stitch. Well, I should say next. And then we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Repeat 6 times for a total of 24 single crochets. So into the first stitch, we'll place 2. Into the next 2 stitches, we'll place 1. So 1 and 1. Next stitch, 2. Next 2 stitches, 1. Next stitch, 2. Next 2 stitches, 1. And I will stop repeating myself and just crochet. And we'll end on the last 2 stitches just crocheting in 1. So we're going to end with a total of 24 single crochets. Okay. Okay, so for round 5, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Repeat 6 times for a total of 30 single crochets. So we're going to up it by 3 single crochets. Okay. So 2 into the first stitch, 1 into the next 3. So 1, 1, and 1. 2 into the next, 1 into the next 3. 2 into the next, 1 into the next 3. Oh. So 1, 1, and 1. 2 into the next, 1 into the next 3. 2 into the next, 1 into the next 3. And it will be quiet. The nice thing about crocheting is that it can be really relaxing. Unless you're in a hurry, then it can be stressful. Okay. Okay, again, make sure you have 30 single crochets in that round. Okay, so for round 6, place 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Repeat 6 times for a total of 36 single crochets. Okay, so 2 into that first, like always. 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 4. 1, 1, 1, 1. 2 into the next. 1 into the next 4. 2 into the next. 1 into the next 4. 2 into the next. And then 1 into the next 4, just like always. 1, 1, 1, and 1. 2 into the next. Then 1 into the next 4. and I'll be quiet for the remainder. I feel like I might have gotten off on this one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and count, because we should have 36, but for some reason it seems like I missed a stitch, maybe skipped a stitch, so let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Oh, I have 36. Interesting. Okay, so I guess I'm good. Now, if that ever happens to you guys, what I would do if I was this far, I would honestly just add another stitch into the same stitch to make it so it's all 36. Okay, I wouldn't take all of this apart and start over, just because with amigurumi it can be really forgiving. You can hide those extra stitches if you need to. Okay, so luckily I was on track. Okay, so for round 7 through 11, we're going to just single crochet all the way around in each of those rows. So 7 through 11, I will just crochet silently, or like I said before, I'll fast forward through this part, and yeah, and then I'll meet you back here to weave it off, fasten it off. Okay, what I'm going to do so that I don't exhaust my camera battery, I'll just turn it off from here, and I will finish my row 7 through 11, and then I will turn the camera back on and we will fasten it off together. Okay guys, so I just finished up my 11th round, and what I'm going to do is just fasten this off. So again, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and then cut the tail end, leaving it long enough to sew, and just go ahead and yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook, okay, to fasten off. Okay, so now just go ahead and make another ear exactly like this one. You can cut this off in the middle of the round here, because this isn't like anything we need to worry about. And then when you're done, we're just going to line them up like this to make our ear, okay? So let's go ahead and make one more outer ear, and let's go ahead and make 2 inner ears, okay? And I'll just show you how to make the one. So again, we're going to use the color buff. We're going to create a magic circle. And we're going to place 6 into the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to tighten up the circle using the tail end. Okay, we're going to place our stitch marker into the circle to keep track. Okay, and now we're going to place, in round 2, we're going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch around to make 12 stitches all the way around. Okay, so just like the last 2 times, we're going to do the same thing. So 1, 2 into that first stitch, 2 into the second stitch, 2 into the third, 2 into the fourth, 2 into the fifth, and 2 into the 6th. I'm going to take that out so it's easier to crochet. So 1 and 2. Okay. Okay, so now for round 3, we're going to sing 2 single crochets into the next stitch, add 1 single crochet into the next. So we're going to repeat 6 times for 18. So it's just the same pattern as we've been using. So 2 into the first stitch, 1, 2, 1 into the next, 2 into the next stitch, 1 into the next, 2 into the next stitch, 1 into the next. Then I'll be silent for the rest of this round. Then remember just to place 1 into the very last stitch for a total of 18 single crochets. Okay, we're just about done with this. For the next round, round 4, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Repeat 6 times and we're going to have a total of 24 single crochets. Okay, so 2 into the first stitch, 'and then place 1 into the next 2 stitches. 2 into the next stitch, 1 into the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. 2 into the next, and then 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. 1 and 1, and then I'll be silent for the rest of this round. Oop. The yarn ball almost dropped onto the floor. And 1 single crochet to the next 2 stitches. And remember, we're going to have a total of 24 single crochets when we are finished. Okay, so let's fasten this off. Oh, slip stitch first. So slip stitch into the next stitch. Cut, leaving a long tail so that we can sew it in later. And fasten this off. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go ahead. If you feel like your hole keeps opening, you can take this and weave it in. I don't usually have a problem with it, so I'm just going to cut mine off. Whatever you feel safer doing, okay? Because that's going to hide anyway. You're not going to see that. Okay, so that is it for this video. I'm not going to attach these yet until my very last video. On the next video, we'll work on the legs and we'll work on the tail. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you on the next video.